And I don't even really care about money anymore. Like, and I don't mean it like I have a lot of it. I mean, I just not really bother about money. Like, I view it as something I need, but I don't. It's fun to have a nice car, but I could care less, you know? So when I've gone to the pub to meet a girl that was on my case, and I was like, hey, do you want a drink? And I got the wad out in front of her. It was like 700 quid. Actually, it might be like £1,000. And she was like, ooh, money bags. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't mean for you to see that, love.
Like, I was always told throughout growing up, I'm easily distracted, I can't focus. But I had parents who'd be like, make sure you get grades or you're gonna get beat.
Could you imagine seeing that now? Like, if you could go back to see what was going on, like, imagine if these guys were using Mammoths to like ferry stuff around and move stuff, and they were in harmony with me.
Yeah, you get something out of teaching people, don't you? Like,
I got the patience for that. Oh, I'm not even allowed to hit you. I can't even throw you out the class, and you're telling me.
So what you gonna do about it?
Why did I become a teacher again, bro?
My dad drives a Ferrari and you...
but Welcome back to another episode of the Bronups. I'm just saying it for jokes.
Episode 32.
I don't think we need to keep saying that, do we?
We'll just do whatever.
Everyone knows what they're watching. But yeah, how mad was that conversation we just had a minute ago? How much is your insurance now on your car?
My car. Well, go back to your mate, bro, because your mate's crazy, right? So he just bought a car for 25 grand, and it's 10 grand to insure the car.
Yeah, so he's lost 15k, and he bought it last year, 25k. He's getting offered 14k for it now, so he's lost 11k on it, and his insurance is 10k. So if you paid that, that's like a total loss in all your asset value, you know?
It's crazy, bro. Yeah, my car's crazy. My car was 4 grand a year to insure when I first got it, which is a lot, but you can stomach paying like 4 grand for that car. It went up to 5 a year after, and I've just renewed for 6. And because insurance is getting so crazy, like 6 grand is getting to the point where it's mad. I haven't bought the 2 cars which I don't even drive anymore. I haven't even bothered insuring because I thought this is now 2 grand more than what I wanted to pay. So I'm just going to take 2 grand off the bill. Isn't that crazy?
It's nuts. And you can't insure a Range Rover. Range Rover car values dropped on its ass. You know, people buying Range Rovers from dealership to resell them for like 10, 20k more last year. And I remember my friend, he always calls me. He's like, you want to make some quick money? I was like, yeah, go on. He's like, I put your name down for this car. You don't have to do anything. I'll send you a check and the person it's sold, you know? So he got me A35 in my name last time, and he just sent me some money for it. And he's like, can you just go put a deposit on a Range? And I remember I didn't follow through on it. I was like, are you sure this can sell in a year?
Yeah.
And then now they're going below retail, like 20, 30k below retail. Like, you take it out of the dealership, you'll lose money on it like you used to back in the day. Because they're uninsurable. You cannot insure a Range Rover in Birmingham or London or Manchester.
It's so mad they're getting stolen like that, bro.
Bruh, 30 seconds, gone. Like, gone in 60 seconds.
I tell you what, the most I ever paid for insurance, and you remember the car as well, because you actually came to collect me the time where the car was in a situation. It wasn't even a crash, it was just a situation. I paid 7,200 a year. 7,200 a year. I was paying monthly at the time, £600 a month for that Mercedes GTS. I was young, I had a load of claims and crashes on my...
You had claims out the wazoo that year, didn't you?
Claims out the wazoo. But I was so desperate to have like a crazy car. I bought it. I didn't even check or do my due diligence on the insurance. And when it came out at 7,200, I was like, whoa. And I didn't even have money like that to be getting 7,200 insurance. But I just thought, whoa, the costs are looking cool, I guess.
Bro, it reminds me when I was 17, my insurance on my Golf was like 200 a month, and that was a lot. And I was taking out
200 a month, was it?
Yeah, and
That's big money.
I was taking out the monthly insurance, trying to flip it before the end of the month and put it back in. So I need every penny I could. So I take out whatever money landed in my bank, go try flip it, try put it back, and it didn't always work. And then I'd miss 1 month's insurance the next month. What
would you be most likely trying to flip? Like, what would be like the game plan?
Goods like laptops. It wasn't iPhones then, was it? It was just like laptops and
Did you sell me
bikes.
Were you big on selling
I bought one iPhone original back in the day, and it got blocked. And I bought it like 60 quid.
Sold it?
Yeah, like no one had seen. I took it to college, and everyone was like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?" Like no one had seen one before, but I couldn't even do anything with it.
Mad. I think that's similar to something that happened to me. I think I bought a phone. It might not have been an iPhone, but a phone off of someone outside Bristol City College, and they rolled me. It got greased, and then like it was cool. 2 hours later, it all got blocked up.
Yeah. N95s were the big flex back then, and W810s. You could sell those easy.
I had N95. N95s are cool, aren't they?
Yeah. It had a keyboard, didn't it? Slid both ways.
Yeah, slid both ways.
But yeah, so mad. So my insurance was that much back then, right? Like 2k, and that was a lot back then, you know?
Mad.
That's the equivalent of like 4k now almost, you know, with inflation. Yeah, I try and flip the money and pay for it. And in the end, I gave up. This is what the important part of the story is. I gave up on trying to do that, like live beyond my means. I took my car off the road 6 months. I stacked up a load of money. I think I stacked up like, I don't know, maybe like 10K.
Yeah, 10 grand in cash, do you?
Yeah. And then I got back on the road. And I'm like, this is much better when you're not stressing every 5 minutes of how I'm going to pay my month's insurance, brake pads, tyres, discs, fuel. Like, I used to put a tenner in a day, like, struggling to keep up, you know?
Bro, ever with cash back in the day, I never even had that much cash. I'm trying to think, like, the most cash I ever had was probably like 10 or so, maybe. Like
You had that
10.
sick setup where you had the 2 desks and a
bro,
little
I
safe.
used to love just sitting, like, locking my bedroom door and just sitting and recounting cash. And, like, seeing how it stacked and then moving it and, like, having it, like, tucked away behind this thing. Even now, like, and I don't even really care about money anymore. Like, and I don't mean it like I have a lot of it. I mean, I just don't really bother about money. Like, I view it as something I need, but I could care less, you know? It's fun to have a nice car, but who cares? It's fun but I would still sit there, and I think it's cool just to, like, when you've got a lot of money, it's fine. Like, if I'm somewhere and I have to take out a lot of cash, I got to take out 15 grand for my colleague spending money for Vegas to go on Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
And I'll have that, and I'll have 15K in dollars, and I'll probably, like, sit there and marvel at it, you know? Like, this is fucking cool, bro.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
You never goes off, does it? It's like, it doesn't matter how old
like
you get.
real
Cars
money.
are always cool. Money's always cool. And like, whether we should say it or not, there's other things that you just can't help but look at as a guy. Like, there's things that are deep grained into us, and success and money is one of the things. Like,
It's just from like mad long psyop from watching movies and music.
Scarface.
Yeah, Scarface. Like music constantly drilling into you. Cash, cars, girls, whatever. You know what I mean?
I always used to look at it like this. I'd look at, if I'd saved up money, I'd always think, like, what could I do with this? I could literally not have to worry about doing anything for this amount of time and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so fun when you were a kid. My granddad, he used to go out to the pub or whatever when he was growing up, and he'd be trying to show off, and he'd get like £40 in notes, and he'd put them around tissue paper to look like he had a wife.
Do you remember when we bought that bike for cheap or something?
That's so funny, bro. Me and Shiz went over to... So what happened, right, is we went to Bristol, and I bought a bike off of some kid in Bristol, and it was a cheap
We
bike.
used to buy and sell stuff. That's the background story. We used to buy and sell stuff. Buy low, sell high.
Yeah, and anyway, I've gone to Wales. I sold it for a lot of dough. I made a lot of dough, and I've gone to the pub to meet a girl that was on my case. And I was like, hey, do you want a drink? And she was like, yeah, please. And I got the wad out in front of her. It was like 700 quid. Actually, it might have been like £1,000. And she was like, ooh, money bags. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't mean for you to see that, love.
But now, if you whip out cash, you get looked at like a criminal. You know what I mean? There can only be one type of person who has cash now.
Well, now the person who shows off for money is normally the poorest. So like, you need to. I didn't even understood the game back then. You know, like if you get money out, you look like a dick. But I always see it now. Like I always see when someone pulls out money, trying to. You just think, you know, young guys.
You don't really see no one rolling with that like grand roll up, you know, anymore. You used to see people like they'll have like a stack, but people don't even roll around with stacks no more. That's because they could confiscate. If you got more than 500 quid, they could confiscate off you now. You know that?
Didn't know that, no.
The police, they could just take it off you till you prove where you got it from. It's only £500. Chill out.
Could they really do that?
Used to be 800 quid. Anything above 500, they could take off you now. Have you ever watched Police Interceptors and they pull some guy over and they'll be like, oh, this is a lot of cash. What do you do? And they'll be like 150 quid.
No, I've never seen it.
And then I saw it the other day. He's like, looked at the camera like, oh, I feel really vulnerable when I even have £200 on me. This is an airport security. Let alone this woman has 5K on her. And she's taking 5K to Hong Kong in cash. And they're like, so where did you get it from? Could you call, find out? And like drilling her because she got 5K.
Nah, I didn't know that was the rules. I know that you get like 1,500 in Europe, wouldn't it?
You can't take more than, what is it, £1,500 cash payment. I think that's person to person though. I think companies can take it. So,
Really?
Yeah, Louis V and that went to Paris recently and they took cash, you know.
No, that's law's not in place yet, right?
It's not in place yet.
No, law's not in place yet.
Okay.
It's something that's coming in.
Oh, mad.
Yeah. Oh, talking to Louis Vuitton, bro, I just had a message from Louis Vuitton
What they say?
trying to sell me a exclusive bag, waiting list bag. The Speedy, for obviously guys who can't see it, we'll send a video, but like the Speedy, the Pharrell Speedy. It's made of like some really soft buttery leather. That's all padded up.
Yeah,
but
let's say Supreme.
yeah,
The colours,
yeah.
isn't it?
But it's 10 grand bag, and I'd originally bought it. I originally bought it, and I sent the money from my company. I was buying it as a company asset, and we're going to resell it. And then he said we can't accept company money, and they sent the money back. So then I thought it was a sign, and then they've come back and said actually we can, but it's like a one of one, and it's waiting list only. And I think, do you know what? The upside's probably worth more than the downside, because the worst case is I'd probably sell it for 6, 8. And if it does well, maybe in a couple of years I can sell it for 30. But there's no prices. There's none online at all. None. It's literally just come out. and it's the Pharrell,
Mad.
the new Pharrell Speedy 50,
Let's have
and
a
I can
look.
circumvent the waiting list. It's pretty crazy. I got a mad relationship with them in Amsterdam.
Yeah, mad. So what is it? 10k is it that bag?
It's 10k, 12k euros I think, or 10k euros or something.
Whoa.
I should know. I sent the money last month, last month, but I got it sent back already.
The good move would be to just try and find a sell first, isn't it, and just flip.
No, I'm not trying to sell it.
Oh,
Do
you
know
want to
what
keep it?
No, it's not even that. I've done that same thing before with Rolex. Is the best way to build a bridge and make the big money is to just buy anything that you can make money and hold it. Don't try and sell it, because they'll stop offering you that if you're not in possession of it in a few years. And if you're in possession of it, then you get the big hits. And I'll tell you what the big hits are. The big hits are when they offer you like the Nike Air Force One, Louis Vuitton collaborations when they come out, bro. And then you get the shoes where they go from 2k to 15 overnight, you know? My plan is just to start building assets, because I want to have like assets, handbags assets, watch assets, crypto assets. I want to do everything, you know?
Yeah, you reckon all that stuff will survive what's coming or not?
Who knows? You got to spread your risk, because you don't know what will survive. Could be anything, could be nothing. The best thing you can do is try and save a lot of different things.
What about something that's historically proven?
Save them too. Save it all.
Like gold, silver.
All of it, yeah. I say
Crypto.
jewelry.
I like crypto a lot. I like the idea of it, but then I just think like, could that go? You know, like something digital like that. You know?
Maybe. If there's a blackout, for sure. I got a feeling we're going to be in blackout.
Yeah.
If a magnetic... Bro, I've been doing a lot of research on magnetic pole shifts.
Oh yeah.
You ever done any research on magnetic
Yeah,
pole
how,
shifts?
how it looks like it's shifting.
And it could... No, like, if a shift happens...
Oh yeah,
a
it's like
shift that
crazy.
a shift is likely to be D-Day. And there's a lot of things, like, even if you look in, like, religious teachings where we're shown that D-Day is coming, you know? Like, the end, Judgment Day is
Yeah.
coming. And also the magnetic pole shift kind of aligns with Judgment Day. So then you think, bruh, we could be in darkness. And if you're lucky enough to survive a situation where the magnetic poles shift, because all the electrics would go, everything, then you'd be literally a feral animal. You would need just solid gold, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's like crazy. The solar winds and stuff.
Yeah, because all the protection goes.
100-degree winds
Yeah.
and stuff, like it's mad. And
Because all the protection goes, all your shield.
yeah, they kept saying the Earth is slowing down movement, didn't they? Remember they kept saying, and then they're like, hold on, we're losing time. Like it's going the other way now, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it's not yet, but they reckon it's going to flip because it has flipped before, like historically proven to flip.
Yeah. The time that science says that it last flipped was 778,000 years ago, and we're around 200,000 years overdue right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's other people, pseudoscience, or they say pseudoscience, but it's just other theories, which I also give just as much credence to, that say it happens every
Like
6,500
Graham
years.
Norton.
Yeah, and they think it happens every 6,500 years, almost like a reset mechanism. And then some of their theories kind of tally up well, because apparently what happens is if there's a magnetic shift, the whole world pretty much stops there still, and the wind keeps on going and the waves keep on going, and the momentum of what the world spins at around 1,000 miles an hour means that the water and the wind starts moving at 1,000 miles an hour when it all stops, which would create roughly water moving at 2 miles an hour, 2 miles high apparently, and there's waves on mountains that are showing crash and erosion 2 miles high,
Mad.
and they think that maybe that's what wiped out.
So even the pyramids, the top of the pyramids, you said to me the other day, is preserved, and it could easily look like it was eroded the way it is, and the tops just stayed above. Because how high is the pyramid? I don't even know, but it's high.
It's high, isn't it?
Probably like 1,000 meters. I don't know.
That magnetic pole shifts, that's crazy. So yeah, and the reason what I was thinking is having actual gold is better, because obviously our game would be to survive any madness that happen like that, and electrics probably wouldn't find their way to being on again for 100 years.
Yeah, literally.
Probably
And
more, wouldn't
especially like connected networks and stuff, and the way stuff is so like so manufactured now. Like you could feel like it's a psyop. Like everyone put your money into coins and bank and CBDCs, and they're like, oh wait, we've been buying gold and silver the whole time, and farmland, and seeds, and all the actual real valuable things. You know,
Yeah.
building bunkers. Like
Right. Would one of those bunkers survive a situation like that?
I think so. Yeah, it's pretty deep. There's those Turkish tunnels underground which survived, you know, for thousands of years. They don't even know how old they are, but they're like cities underground. Seen that?
Yeah, I've seen him.
With that Graham guy.
I was just thinking though, like, do you reckon it could be a situation like, you know, Zuckerberg's got that one?
Yeah. By the way, he sold 250 mil worth of Meta shares the other day, on like January 2nd.
Did he?
Yeah. So he's obviously paying for something. The bunker that he's getting built in Tennessee.
I'm just thinking though, they surmise that the world would be underwater, you know? I don't know. And how quickly would it freeze over?
Days, I think days. I don't know if it freezes over from the pole shifts, does it?
Yeah, it does, because what happens is the world stops spinning, so a certain side
yeah.
the certain side of the place gets really, really hot, and a certain side freezes. Oh no! It does freeze over because all the volcanoes go off in the smoke cloud. It's that smoke cloud which causes the freeze, isn't it?
So which side would you rather be on? The side which is exposed to the sun 24 hours a day or covered?
You need to be near the sun.
Yeah.
You need to be near Africa, because I believe that's where they think people would survive. Some survivors, and the key word is some.
Yeah, they say that for every situation is try getting southern hemisphere, Africa, South America. Would be
Onto
good too.
mountaintops. Mountaintops, the southern hemisphere. Is it, what's it?
Yeah, southern hemisphere, high up, inland.
Right.
Stay away from coasts.
But Kilimanjaro, you'd be freezing up there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Where would you go?
Just somewhere which is like got naturally high altitude, high above sea level. And bro, going back to what you said about like religious scripture on end of times, it says like the sun will rise from the west and set in the east. And I thought, how could you scientifically prove that? Oh, if Earth starts spinning the other way,
Yeah.
then it would rise from the west and set in the east. You know what I mean? Because the poles flip,
Right.
so it'd still be the same, but you know what I mean? The compass would turn the other way.
And then it'd be east to west, wouldn't it?
Yeah, west to east. Yeah,
West east. So what is it at the moment? It goes east to west.
rises in the east, sets in the west.
And then they say at the end of the day it's going to flip.
Yeah, it's going to rise from the west and set in the east.
And that literally confirms that.
Yeah. So that, and then it's like biblically, Islamically, it says the Euphrates River will dry up, and that's dried up now, pretty much.
And also, like, if in the story of Noah in the Bible, they say it's 7 days, it's 6 days of chaos, and on the seventh day it starts to relax. And in where they're looking at it, they think it's 7 days before the world is sort of inhabitable again. It'd be 7 days of chaos. So, like, it's kind of like we're told in all these different ways, that people have seen it from their religion, our religion.
Yeah, it's like it's almost happened a few times, isn't it? From that guy, is his name Graham?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it's like happened a few times, and it seems kind of like he's got a lot of evidence to back it up.
It looks like it has. It looks like, we reset almost, doesn't it? Do you know what's mad about it as well? Is it looks like we're reset just at the time where like humans are desperately in need of it at the most. Like, if it is anytime soon, even if it is within the next 500 years, like, and the grand scheme of things, we're reaching the cap. Even 500 years is like tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems that sort of breaking point, like when Rome collapsed, was kind of like this, like just lots of entertainment, lots of distraction around. Like people were like choosing genders and stuff. They're just constantly trying to enjoy and live in, like a dopamine high 24/7, and then bang, they're gone.
And thing is, bro, like if I like forward myself and think about what it's like in year 3000, I don't see a year 3000 like Futurama. I see some grey, tyrannical madness. Not flying cars and people chilling eating pizza, obviously not the pizza, but I don't see it being a good place.
Yeah, but even in
Futurama,
it's proper dark, isn't it? Like it's just full of like people just doing drugs, and it's pretty dark. There's like loads of dictators, and it's still pretty dark. But they got tech, but it's real dark.
It looks like a fun place to live still.
Yeah, if you got money.
Yeah,
but like you got the people who live in the sewer now,
But I don't even think that. I think it's not going to be good for anyone, bro.
No.
Seriously, I got a feeling we'll have a cataclysmic event by 3000 because that's what humans need, Like, they're acting crazy. Look at all the that we do against each other. People acting hateful, like crazy. No one understands how to love each other anymore, and like people's greed has got out of control. You just have people, like you said, spending hundreds of millions on the most frivolous, ridiculous stuff. You got what? Jeff Bezos put 70 mil or something into making a clock in a mountain. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like, at what point now have we got
forever?
to ludicrous, bruh, where you can just chuck 70 mil and make a clock?
Yeah, and they got the seed bank as well in the Arctic. You know about that?
No, I don't know about it. What is it?
They got every single seed on the planet and put them in this vault.
Have they?
Yeah, in the Arctic or Alaska, I can't remember where, but yeah, deep underground, typical nuke-proof, weather-proof. And it freezes all the seeds, and they expect them to last like 1,000 years. So they'll have, the backups. If everything wipes out, they'll be like, we got seeds, don't worry about us. They'll be doing their own thing.
Mad. Bro, woolly mammoths, when the freeze happened last time, they were left standing with food in their mouth in some cases.
Yeah.
You know that?
Oh yeah, the freeze just freezes them over and just locks them in. They found one, didn't they, like fully intact recently?
And another thing, bro, they found is in camping sites up in Alaska. I think it's Alaska, or I'll have to fact check it. Maybe like we could put a little article in here. Is they're finding bones of woolly mammoths with humans, and they're all together as if they were living in some kind of like symbiotic relationship. So where they previously said that humans wiped out the mammoths, now there's people. A guy called Randall Carlson, who's really tight with Graham Hancock. They actually do podcasts together. He's now suggesting that it wasn't humans that wiped out the mammoths at all, and that they were wiped out by, again, an event, and maybe humans contributed to the finite small amounts, and they did kill some to eat, but there's no way that we killed them all. And they also say that for some reason, us as humans, we're very conscientious about wiping things out, but we always cast minds on back as if they're idiots and they would have just wiped them all out. Like, maybe it was, you know what I mean?
And he's obviously the guy who, the initial theory of humans wiped them out was probably like a European scientist of some sort, because that's what tends to happen this side. But when you go back to native Indians, they never killed the buffaloes. It's when the Europeans went over to America, they wiped out the buffaloes, you know? We're from the side which over farms. They lived in a time of symbiotic relationships and like hunting an animal and then like using every single part of it. Like a mammoth's huge, and everything wasn't over farmed, or like there was no farming. There's just countless amounts of land.
And isn't it interesting? Because that changes the perception of what was going on if humans were working with mammoths. Because you imagine seeing that now. Like, if you could go back to see what was going on, like imagine if these guys were using mammoths to like ferry stuff around and move stuff, and they were in harmony with nature. That's an amazing thing, because we're taught nothing like that. You know, we're taught that the enemies,
they hunt them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it makes sense anyway, because we've always worked with animals, you know, like there's like, we don't have any wolves in England because we wiped them out, but we have dogs, which are like, you know, they're cousins. Like, yeah, they're related, you know, they are dogs basically, wolves. So we use them, we use horses. You see people in Thailand on elephants, like it seems natural. Like, yeah, they killed some to eat, but why wouldn't they have one round to like haul stuff around or ride or whatever?
Is that what we killed? We killed wolves to eat, or we just killed them because they were pests?
No, they don't. Wolves don't really attack humans. Yeah, we just killed them for coats and stuff like that. That's why when the people originally from France, was it France, went over to America, they were making crazy money off selling pelts, you know, like fur. That was like one of the main exports.
Mad, bro.
So yeah,
bro, we were saying then about like that it shows when Graham Hancock's talking that there's evidence to suggest that this kind of stuff's happened before. It almost thinks that everything happens for a reason. Now, this brings me to something I was looking at with Bobby Kennedy Jr. And he talks about how autism is going through the roof with kids because of and the mercury content in these genes. I believe it's the mercury content. I believe mercury is the part of it that causes the autism. Is that right? They think
there's a few theories, yeah.
So then I'm looking at a world, right? So this is interesting. I'm sat in the bath this morning thinking about what's happening. The average, let's just call the average person of average ability is going to be made redundant by, actually I was on a walk this morning, I was thinking this. The average person is going to be made redundant by AI and by the ability that their brain is like, once machinery can do your job perfectly and thinking can be done better than you can think, for what use do you need? Now we have all this madness, but maybe God's plan was like, oh, we need some more autistic kids out there, because if we don't have autistic kids, no one's going to be able to hang with this AI, because what seems like an annoying thing or a disability to have might be the only way to compete against machine. Like, I was thinking it's autistic people who are going to prevail in 1,000 years, because if you're not autistic, well, to be honest with you, AI is so smart, it will most likely quickly render autism out redundant too. But in theory, that'd be the only edge you have to try and compete. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you think it's like an evolutionary thing, like we're in an age of tech and autistic people are normally good at tech.
Well, no. It's not even the tech. It's usually autistic. I even think like, I don't know, it's self-diagnosed. I think I have like little traits of autism. But I think autism normally means that you short in one area, and normally it could be communication, but I don't think mine is communication. But like, it can short in one area, but you raise in another. And the raise in another is good enough where it keeps you competitive in there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like
people are normally really good at something when they're autistic. Like they're like laser focused on one thing and they don't like anything else. You know, it's like a kid who's autistic. They only want to eat turkey dinosaurs. They don't want to eat anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Like take ADHD, for example. ADHD, again, is a cost reward thing, because the cost is hard to concentrate, but the reward is you have a lot of energy. So again, it's like, okay, so an ADHD person doesn't survive very well in a classroom, but they survive super well in a monotonous environment. And most of life is monotonous. So having ADHD is a superpower once you get out of the monotonous schooling aspect of it. So like, and I think the same of ADHD. ADHD being a kid is sure, and it's going to be hard, isn't it? It's surely,
Yeah.
but it might be a complete advantage when you get to an adult. I'd definitely be a kid now. I'd rather have ADHD than just be a boring normal kid, because I think you could be screwed. Like, and I'm not talking about someone who's can't do anything with their life. I'm talking about someone who's got just, it's like that perfect mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, going back to what you said about the autism as well, that kid who hacked GTA 6, he's autistic and he's like crazy good at what he does, to the point they've had to put him in hospital so that he doesn't hack anything else.
And isn't that funny though? Like the world is like, we're going to make him this good, so good that he has to get put in a mental hospital, but also we're going to make him so he has to be put in a mental hospital. So, you know, like you can't get one without the other. Like
he should have a job somewhere, like working for security, you know?
Yeah,
like an ethical hacker, but like he just seems like he's doing his own thing. Like he hacked NVIDIA. What's that big Intel? I think he just hacked all these big dogs, and he's just like they put him in a hotel, and he still hacked GTA, Rockstar Games. Mad. And then they've put him in hospital indefinitely. Like that's not even legal, bro. That could be the new way to control people. Like this guy is too good at like manipulating AI and tech, we can't keep him controlled. Put him in hospital. He's mental, you know.
Bro, and you told me that he hacked back in using his phone and a Fire Stick, right?
Yeah.
So when someone's that kind of talented, you have to think like, I wonder what God has sent him here for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's been sent for something. We got a corrupt as hell situation where he is beyond power.
Yeah.
Why is he here? You know? And at the moment, it's not to hack GTA.
Yeah. He's finding his purpose, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's messing around and taking out like massive companies for fun.
Well, do you know what it is?
Hotel room.
It's like a team, and maybe someone else has their purpose, and they need to attach themselves to him.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's exactly what
it's
I was
time we're taking out these.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Like if we got him, you know, when that X-Men movie where you got that fast guy who's running around just doing delinquent stuff. Like you go to him like, we've got a better job for you, and you'd hire him. He'd be like a superpower. You know what I mean?
Would, yeah, he would.
He's sick, isn't he?
Yeah.
Remember that scene where he breaks him out and he's like just pushing stuff?
It's a sick scene.
Yeah, he's like that. I feel like he needs to find something to do productive with his skill.
But what do you think about that, Brad? Because on the one hand, I was thinking that, autism is going up, and people are really concerned about autism going up, and they should be really concerned, because if there's anything, but also maybe the world requires it.
Yeah.
That, you know, for theory, it might.
All the tech people are autistic. Like it's that thing that Tate said. Like there's these guys who aren't alpha, and they're in charge of all the tech, and so they do stuff so that the nerds have more power than the actual real alphas. And it's like, oh wait, maybe we don't need real like old school alpha people now. We need autistic tech programmers, you know, because they're the ones who are going to shape the future. You know, not guys with swords and shields.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like look at the people who are. You got Mark Zuckerberg, you got Elon Musk. Like they clearly have something.
Oh yeah, they're mad autistic. Like they wear the same clothes every day and stuff. Like.
And then you wouldn't have someone like Khal Drogo running the world now, would you?
No, exactly. We don't need them anymore.
No,
so now it's like, it could just be, I don't know, because I don't believe the whole thing with the because there wasn't that many people who had autism when we grew up, unless they've changed the recipe, which I don't think they have because that costs money. So I just think it might be other factors. It might just be like GM foods and all the sugar and all that stuff. I don't know, you know? Or it could be what you said, like kind of like natural selection, like God's like, oh, you need these people now.
Also, though, it could be more people are being tested.
Yeah, more. Yeah, exactly. There's all these factors in there where they're like, oh, this is more prevalent now. Like, we didn't test every single kid for autism. We didn't have these boxes we put everyone in. We'd be like, oh, he's a bit weird.
Because, bro, if me or you were told we have ADHD and we were acted and taught like we had ADHD from a young kid, we might be completely different versions of ADHD now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a good example of that.
Programming
as well.
is all.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's a kid I went to school with, and he was told he had dyslexia and ADHD, and he got put in special classes, and he always, because he was smart, because he went to primary school with me, but in secondary school, as soon as he got told that, he played into it, like, this is my character, this is how I get to be, mess around and be funny, and, you know?
Yeah.
I never got it. Like, I was always told throughout growing up, I'm easily distracted, I can't focus, but I had parents who'd be like, make sure you get grades or you can get beat. So, you know what I mean? I always have good grades or whatever.
Yeah. My
Did you get ADHD in school or not?
No, I didn't.
The
But I was just thinking that my problem with the ADHD thing is it's basically giving a kid, and a kid is looking for this, is a way to not take accountability. Basically,
Yeah, for sure.
whether or not you become an adult or not is whether or not you master the ability to take accountability. And like most people don't. And a kid, as a kid does, is looking for a reason. So the worst thing, even if, in my opinion, if my kid came up to me and said the teacher said it had ADHD, I'd say you don't, and the teacher's wrong. Just because I think that if I'm told I had that, God, I didn't have anything or think I had anything. And I acted crazy. And I was scared to death of my parents. If I was told it was okay and it was a behavioral issue, bruh, crazy. And I've seen the kids do that. You literally, look, this is just facts. If you go into the bottom class at school, and I was in the bottom class, most of the people there, they weren't even that dumb. They were just people, they were allowed to act like idiots. There were people, I swear on my mother's life, I scored pretty much the worst in the bad classes I was in. There was people who could have scored good if they were just good at behaving. I wasn't bad at behaving. That's just my concentration was all over, you know?
Yeah.
What about you? Well, you were really, really good at school. But I mean, do you know what I mean?
I mean, I'd get in trouble and I'd get told off a lot during each class, but my grades were there. I understood the stuff, and sometimes I felt like, especially in stuff like science, I was like, this is too easy. This is boring. I get it. I'm finishing the guy's sentences before it happens, you know. And I'd get bored. And I'd mess around, but I still got like A stars.
That's amazing.
But like,
it
was a lack of like you said, it's a lack of engagement, and it's a bit boring, you know. Like, you get bored. You're not stimulated enough. I can only concentrate on something if I enjoy it. Yeah.
And I was good at business at school. That was it. And I was okay at art other than that. And I'm very good at English language, but like I'm good at maths, but not learned from school.
Yeah.
School is mad. School is really hard because like, do you know what I was looking? I was reading this like piece talking about school. And if you think back to teachers, how many teachers do you know that really made an impact on you where you could look back and be like, that was a good teacher?
I can think of a few. What about you? Well, you had bad ones, did you? Or you didn't like them?
No. I just didn't really have anyone that was that impactful. Like, I know that if I was a teacher, a kid would remember me. They'll be like, yeah, there was this one kid who was full of energy and he really made me believe in myself. I didn't really have any teachers that had much charisma. And I think like there was a couple who were kind of interesting, and they're the ones I did well in. Like business, it had me gripped. But I think that if people were told, and they said this, that imagine if you told a teacher on the sales meeting, or not the sales meeting, their teacher Monday morning teachers meeting, like, right, remember, this is just your job, but you need to act like you want to be here. If you turn up and remember, be Coach Carter, be the be the teacher that the kid is going to look back on in 10 years and say, wow, I never had anyone who really even gave a about their job, bro. And if I did, I reckon I would have been able to find maths interesting. I would have found history interesting. But I just had these people turn up like, so, and like, no wonder I'm getting D's. Bro, I can easily get interested in stuff that I find exciting.
Yeah. And you know what? That's crazy. So if you're a teacher out there and you listen to this, like, someone is going to remember you for the rest of their lives. And if you can make a positive impact, like, it's a great job. Like, it might be like underpraised and underappreciated in this country, but a teacher is a great job because you're literally shaping the future. And like, for example, you still remember that teacher who basically told you ain't shit, like, to this day. And even early on the pod, you were basically like, this is like a F you to you, you know what I mean? And it's still kind of like stuck with you. Obviously, you're not hurt by it, but it's still ingrained in your psyche that you need to tell this teacher, like, F you, look where I got, you didn't believe in me, you know?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I'll say I had some really good teachers. Like, we went to the same school, but like, I had a few teachers I could think of who were like really supportive, really nice, you know what I mean? And they really took pride in their job and they put passion into it. And it pays off, obviously.
One who stuck out to me, who I learned a lot from, and I learned a lot from him, not because he's the smartest teacher I ever dealt with, I don't think, and not that he's not the smartest, not just in case he's listening to this, Clive Coppage, because he was interesting and he was a character, and I could listen to him, and he could tell me about profit and losses, and I sucked up business information so quick. Like, he would just have to tell me about, this profit and loss, this is how the balance sheet works, and it was just zip, zip, zip. It was easy because, he actually cares. He's telling me about a sandwich shop, and he's...
Yeah, because he actually had businesses too, and he's teaching business. He wasn't like, I've got a degree in business, so I'm going to teach you business. Nah, he had businesses. He's been to China. He had a sandwich shop. Do you remember how he wrote off his the rest of the profits in his business when he sold it in the sandwich shop?
Nah.
He paid his wife, there's 40k left in the account, he paid his wife redundancy, so he got away with the tax on it.
Nice,
so
smart.
And so he understands it.
Yeah, he's cool. He was cool. I like to think that the people who made a big impact in my life, they were always big characters, charismatic people. You'd look up to them. And I think that it wouldn't be that hard for a teacher. And even my own stuff, like there's a few, like younger people I teach, like even through Instagram or whatever, and I get a lot from it. Not because I get money, but you feel good helping someone.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'd look at the teacher's job like, right, I didn't take this to earn money, clearly, and that's okay. I took it because I want to make a difference. So on that basis, let's not lose that. And even if I've had a bit of a crappy week, let's still go in on Monday. Remember, if I am like the best version of myself and I show them the reason I got into teaching is because I love history or blah, 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 and you show you're passionate about it, you're probably, literally, you could make a kid be completely different at school.
Oh, yeah.
It's
you can
mad.
shape their future.
Because if you don't have attention, like I don't, if I'd have had people who were excited about the shit they were teaching, bro, it would have been easy for me.
Yeah. Bro, I thought about it a few years ago about becoming a teacher. I thought this would be cool. Like, because you could get on with them and you'd actually make a difference, you know? Like, it's a 1-year conversion course at uni, I think, to become a teacher. And you're literally changing people's lives, shaping the future.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And it'd be fun, too, because, like you said, you get something out of teaching people, don't you? Like, I get random DMs, like, asking for, like, advice on random stuff, and I'm like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even younger people, you know what I mean? You're like, I know what this guy's going to get up to if I don't tell him, like, a good path to go down.
Yeah.
So, like, especially this day and age, like, kids do some mad stuff for money.
I think I like the mentoring part, bro. The real I don't like school is... I got the patience for that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was thinking. Can I really put up with some kid giving me lip? Like, he doesn't even know me and he's going to try to talk to me like
And
this.
remember,
You know what I mean?
and the mentoring's cool because I'm like, right,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a little bit of free mentoring and you respect my time. If you don't, I just won't respond to your messages no more.
Yeah.
Or you can't meet me again. But at school, I'm not even allowed to hit you. I can't even throw you out the class. And you're telling me, sir, what are you going to do about it? Why did I become a teacher again, bro?
Like, what do you know? I'm smarter than you. Like, bro.
My dad drives a Ferrari and you...
But but that's what I thought would be cool is if the kids see your car and stuff and you teach them, they'd have some instant respect. Like, this guy's cool, you know? But that's half the thing because most teachers aren't cool to get on with kids. They're always trying to be too adult. Like, bro, you could chill with the kids, you know? Because the teachers that I had were cool, were chill, you know? They'd talk to you on a level. They'd even throw some insults. Like Clive, he was a savage.
Mr. Pinner was a good teacher, a good English teacher.
I never had him.
He was good. And English language got a B in when I retook it. Do you know what happened with English language and English lit, right, bro? Is, you only meant to answer the one question that relates to the book you did. Yeah. I answered every single question. I'm there like, whoa. I was like, I did Of Mice and Men. I've gone through and I've answered. I was like, oh, for goodness sake, they didn't even teach me about any of the other books. I spent all year researching one. Anyway, by the time I just tried to guess by the titles, like, this must be about whatever, a mermaid or whatever. And at the end of it, I realized that I'd just done one paragraph or something. I should have spent 2 hours and I just ripped the piece of paper in. So I got a U for English,
wow.
ungradable. But then I retook it and I actually managed to blag my way into college because one of the things is I needed to have a C in English to do that. But they were like, if you retake it, so I got a B, so I retook.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was good.
You lot with those question papers, the devil's always in the detail. Because
Yeah.
you literally, the reason why I did it, I was like, I read this, take out the key words, and that's that. Because a lot of it is distraction, and it's like an IQ test almost. Like, the answer is in the question, you have to answer it acutely. If you spend too much, if you just read it quickly and then try and answer it roughly, it's not going to happen. Like, read the question over and over, and the answer's in the question almost, you know? Like, they show you what gets the marks. Then you just target that area that it's specifically asked for, you know?
Definitely.
That's like a hack. Because I've had that before where I've completely answered something completely wrong, and I'm like, why did I do that?
And it's that time allocation stuff, bro. It stressed me out. I remember I went hot and cold because I knew that I had to get this to get into sixth form, and I really wanted to go into sixth form. And then I realized that, oh no, I got 5 minutes left and I haven't even answered my question.
It's kind of crazy how they put you in a big sports hall and have invigilators pacing up and down every 5 minutes. Bro, there's some like Auschwitz stuff going on there. Seriously.
It's stressful, bro.
Yeah, like you said, you get hot, cold. The room's always freezing too. You got your one pen, can I go to the toilet? And they like watch you go to the toilet, like in case you're cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's horse, bro. I remember I was in medium set for maths, and my dad's like, get into upper. You're good at maths, get into upper. So I went up and I was like, look, please don't go into upper. I think I can get better than a C. Nah, we don't think you should be in here. But I thought, let's sure you should let the guy if he thinks he should.
I've never heard of that. They choose when you move up, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, surely.
But yeah,
like,
the ambition, they should give you a chance.
Yeah.
I always feel like, because I'm that person where I'll be like, I'll chuck you in the deep end. But then other people like, if you throw someone in the deep end, they're not going to learn anything. They have to understand a bit. I'm like, nah, I'd rather just get immersed into it and try and work it out, you know? Rather than be bored and be taught like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. My maths was a tricky one for me because I was always very good at it because when I was at school, I was selling bathrooms, and bathrooms was all like crazy prices, and the discounts were really like small, acute percentages and stuff. So I got really good at mental maths. It's just that I didn't concentrate in school. Concentration is a hard thing to be good at.
Yeah, that's yeah. There should be a class on concentration, how to concentrate. Like you go in there, you like meditate, you do some like concentration exercise. Especially with today's attention span. Like TikTok is the biggest app for a reason because it was at, like 30-second video, 3 seconds, next,
Yeah, what we were saying is the whole metric's mad, isn't it? It's different now because before it used to be make a good piece of video for people to come and watch. Now it's get a good piece of video. So if you throw it in front of someone's face who didn't even know they wanted to watch it, that they stay on it. So it's a whole different thing.
They're creating a marketplace because now they're trying to get longer form on there. So now people are spending more time watching long. It's like, they decide what you eat. They put it in front of you. You're going to eat it. And your body's going to adapt to it, It's not we want this. They give it to us. And then it's whether we like it, you know what I mean? It's like a drug. They create the market.
And isn't it crazy, bro? Everything is a war. Like, obviously, we're always in disputes with, like, different countries. Our government's always getting in. And even this is a war. Like, TikTok versus Western media is a war. Like, they're stressed as hell that they're going for the longer form content. And our government cannot afford for YouTube to lose that battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're also, because that is also China's government over swamping the UK or the US or the West. So they're also like, right, fight. We need that short content. So even though YouTube as a business needs a short content, also the West needs short content. The West needs to make YouTube and Instagram just as good as TikTok because TikTok is a fight for information. The whole thing's
they need
mad,
control
bro.
the narrative. Right?
Because if TikTok dwarfs everything, and let's just play example like YouTube and Instagram went the way that MySpace did and no one really, or Bebo, even worse, Bebo. Bro, we would be in an actual military war. Or they would ban TikTok. It could not happen. That would not happen. They wouldn't allow it. Do you know what I mean?
Then the talk of everything's a free market and in the West, everything's equal competition, everyone would go out the window.
Absolutely not.
It's like pick and choose.
They're trying to shut Twitter by the summer, X by the summer. Why?
Yeah, and you know what? I used to see this thing about TikTok getting closed, and I used to hear about business people like they're going to shut TikTok down because the information it harvests off your phone is crazy. That's why it's so addictive because the information it gets off you makes it so uniquely targeted. And I thought, hold on, Instagram and Facebook, anytime I say something, I get an advert for it. So what's so different about TikTok? And I realized it's not. The problem was that they had is firstly, the people who lobby politicians are YouTube, Instagram. These people, American companies, are lobbying politicians. And then what happens from that? They need to create a narrative. The Chinese, and like TikTok, US is based in US anyway. Like their servers are in the US. So what are they talking about? They're like the CCP will have all this info. Like, what do you want info on? Like teenage kids learning dances. Like there's no info to be had off TikTok, which is of any use. It's
not about information.
Yeah.
It's not about their information. It's about their information. Bro.
Yeah.
It's about the government wanting to be able to control what narrative goes out, because you'll already see from TikTok that you see a lot of more truth on there. Because why do you see the truth? It's not because we need to see the truth. It's because it serves China's advantage for us to see what's really going on over in Ukraine and Russia, over with and Palestine. So they want to see the truth. If it didn't suit China's narrative to see the truth, we wouldn't see the truth. So understand that even though it's good for us, it's not good for our government.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. They're saying that they're harvesting our info, this, that, and the other. But the problem is, all it is YouTube and Instagram are losing money and Facebook to TikTok. And our government doesn't want to see certain things. So now what happens is, bro, TikTok is so sensitive. You post up let's say an Epstein video or something, or a Tate video, it'll get removed faster, but it can sit on Instagram all day. And that's TikTok trying to appease our governments. But at the same time, did you see when there was riots in France? You couldn't find it on Insta, you couldn't find it on Facebook, you couldn't find it on YouTube, but it was all over TikTok and Palestine videos. The American government are saying, oh, TikTok is destabilizing America by showing loads of bad Palestine content of people getting hurt to make us turn against our government because Israel's our ally. And TikTok turned around and said, no, the demographic of young people, we're not giving them the algo, they're choosing their own algo, they're watching and commenting more on it, saying it's sad, this, that, and the other, so they're getting fed more of it. We're not controlling the narrative. The customer controls the narrative. So that's another thing which pissed them off, you know?
Well, that's always been the case, though. They've been deleting feeds and everything on YouTube. They've been deleting YouTube videos, Facebook statuses, tweets forever. This is just a grander scale of that now.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to cloak, like, so that they're like, oh, Trump's made a tweet. We need to delete this. We need to get Trump off of Twitter. So now they're like, oh, you're hearing about No, we need to delete this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've always been controlling narrative, even down to the times that social media didn't exist. Social media has just basically put them into a frenzy where like, oh, we can't just print a paper and everything goes away now. We literally have to have these complex like situations and laws to try and stop these independent people having a voice anymore. Racist, rapist.
Yeah, there's people working from like militarized psyop units. Like if you don't, you probably heard psyop a lot on our show, a psychological operation against you. These people go from like government branches like CIA, like the Mossad's 18200, and they work in media. Like, you know, Ben Shapiro's company's like funded by the 18200 and has his ex-CEOs working in his program. You know that? Like Jordan B. Peterson works under them, you know?
Yeah, bro.
So they created that cancel culture thing that Piers works for, that cancel culture program, like that whole network. Rupert Murdoch created that, right? And he's got people from the 18200, like a PSYOPs unit,
How did he create
working in it.
culture?
Because you know all these people getting cancelled, he gave them platforms. You know, like
right.
Piers.
Oh, right. Sorry, you meant he gave platforms to the cancelled, right? Okay.
Yeah. So obviously, Rupert Murdoch's seen a chance. Oh, people are getting cancelled. People I could use. Piers, Ben Shapiro, Jordan B. Peterson. So I'll give them this thing and I'll fund them. You know. But now they're corrupted. Once they're funded, they're corrupted. You know. They got a slave master again.
I didn't know that Shapiro worked for Murdoch, but
yeah, indirectly. Yeah.
does he? Mad. But yeah, it's crazy, bro. I think that they're scavenging and they're trying to control the information.
Yeah, it's crazy because now you don't know what's real and what's not, because you got people who are like counter, and then you got people countering this side, and they're all saying opposing views, and you're like, what the hell is going on, you know? Like before you could trust, these guys are for humanity, and now they've planted people on that side, you know? Because Ben Shapiro, before the Israel thing, he seemed like a logical voice for cancelling the stupidness which is going on in this world, you know? And so did Jordan P. Peterson. You're like, oh, right. Oh, you guys are warmongers too, you know?
Yeah, man. It's a
crazy.
crazy world.
Yeah.
Nice one.